Uh,
Okay, I
on
am
top of the kitchen
live
counter.
with
About a
Akwete Muhammad from the Pine Belt Habitat
okay.
chapter, and we're going to talk about some things today. Thank y'all for joining us for the Pine Belt Women's Expo, episode 6 of our In the Meantime. Until we can have this expo in person, we're meeting online, and I've got someone great to talk to you today. If you have not met Akwete in person, you are missing out. She is a joy, and every time you see her, you usually get a big smile. Of course, when we have to wear masks, that changes everything.
It does. This is my money maker, Jen. I'm covered up.
You have to smile through the eyes. So,
Yes. Yes.
we're so glad to have you here and to talk
Yes.
about you. I know in normal times we would have had the expo and you'd meet people in person that way, but since we can't have that, I wanted to talk to you about you, your organization, all the things that
Yes.
you would normally be doing, what you're
Right.
doing now, how things have changed, and then talk about upcoming fundraisers and things like that. So take it
Absolutely.
over.
I will, Jennifer. Thank you so much. I want to say hello to the audience. I can't see anybody. I just see me and you, Jen. But thank you for helping us, our little old nonprofit, keep the mission of housing security and housing affordability at the top of everyone's list. As Ms. Jen said, I'm Akwete Muhammad. I'm with Habitat for Humanity of the Pine Belt. We cover 4 service counties, the counties of Jones, Lamar, Forest, and Marion County. And we are in the housing affordability industry, basically. We help those families that can't go into a Trustmark or a Bancroft South or, Wells Fargo and get a normal loan. We actually offer home loans to families and loved ones at 0 interest rate. So my official title for the organization is I'm the resource development manager. I handle volunteer coordination, outreach and marketing, social media content, fundraising, project manager, communications director, grant writing. So I do a little bit of it all. We
That's a lot.
wear, a lot of hats here, and we're so small, but we're hanging in there in spite of. So yeah, so we have those families that want to literally, lift their own selves up by their bootstraps. So we just kind of give them the incentive to become homeowners. And I think in the city of Mississippi, I'm sorry, the city of Hattiesburg, we have about a 60-40 split. We have like 60% of people that are actually renting versus 40% that are actually homeowners. So we're trying to put a dent into that statistic because when you have more home ownership, those monies that are paid through our citizens, what do you call it, property taxes, those monies go directly into the school systems. So we try to tell people, if you have more people that are homeowners, that translates into much better schools. When you got a city full of renters, then not so much is going to continue to make our young kids the future leaders of this country. So, but we're really excited. We found our niche. We stuck to it. We've been in Hattiesburg since 1990, and we have built 70 houses in the Pine Belt across those 4 service counties. And we are about to break ground on house number 71 down in the historical Palmer's Crossing area. But as you know, Corona smacked us upside the head.
Oh
So,
man.
yeah, so we're just trying to find unique ways to keep it going. A lot has changed for Habitat. Number one, our ability to have open fundraisers and for us to move freely across the city and to meet and touch and greet people and get people involved on our mission of making sure that every man, woman, and child has a safe and decent place to lay their head at night. So it has been severely hamstrung with the pandemic and COVID. So this is going to be the first house. House number 71 will be the first house where Habitat in the Pine Belt is going to have to actually hire a construction company. And we are so heartbroken about that because the experience of Habitat for Humanity is coming into the organization, meeting the construction managers, meeting the family services, meeting our outreach and marketing director, and volunteering next to the partner family that we choose for that moment in time. It's just an unforgettable experience. So now we're left trying to pick up the pieces, and we don't have that volunteer experience where that family gets to literally build their house, build their reality, build their future as future homeowners in the state of Mississippi. So we're kind of heartbroken about that. Normally, by now, we would have had foundation laid, at least have the building in the dry, and it takes 20 to 25 people to make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because our numbers are so small and the mandate that our governor and our mayor has set forth, there's no way we can make that happen. So right now we're shopping around trying to find some companies that would give us a really good deal, because essentially Habitat for Humanity is two things. Number one, we're a construction company. And number two, we are also a mortgage lender. We have to follow the laws of FDIC, just like your Central Sun Belts, or if you're a credit union or you're a banking institution, Habitat has to follow those same banking laws. And that's why we can offer those mortgages at 0% because we hold the loan. So it's a wonderful experience. And then we put those families in those homes, and then we take the money that they're paying on their mortgage and we start the next project. And it kind of goes on to, be self-subsisting. But yeah, so that's just one way that Habitat has been, kind of hamstrung with the ability to raise funds. And now we can't build a house, and our partner families are really missing out on the whole experience. But we can't put him on hold because he's now been waiting for about 3 years to receive his house, because it has added a whole year onto his partnership, and a normal partnership is 2 years. So Mr. John Clay has saved his $1,000 in closing costs, which is one of our foundational principles of the organization. You have to clean up your credit. Your debt to income ratio has to fall at about 30%. And you also have to we teach you how to save an emergency fund. And you also have to donate 450 hours of what we call sweat equity. And that's the hours that he would have been putting into the actual building of his home. But thank God he was a proactive kind of guy, and he has finished his volunteer hours way back in January or December of 2019. So he's good. But it's a blessing, but it hurts at the same time because it has really slowed up his project and for his family. And where they are now is not a space conducive for children. So he's a single dad. Mr. Clay, about 60% of the families that we help here at Pine Belt Habitat are single mothers or fathers. And giving those children the ability to have a safe space to learn and grow and go through school. We have a lot of first generational families whose children often go on and go to college because they've had a safe environment to grow up in. And so that's really the proof in the pudding. That's where the rubber meets the road, and we're proud of that fact. So yes, COVID has done a number issues with fundraising. Our current projects that are coming up now, we actually just hosted our 3rd annual charity golf classic over at the Hattiesburg Country Club. It went amazing, guys. By the grace of God, we were still able, in the middle of a pandemic, Jen, I cannot just fathom this. We still raised $20,000 at the Hattiesburg Country Club.
That's amazing.
Yes, we raised 20 grand. It is unheard of, but we finally hosted it when they kind of lifted restrictions in July, and it was still a huge success. So I'm so grateful to the bankers and attorneys and just everyday what we call Habitat heroes that came out to make that event such a huge success. Our board members, our staff. I mean, it was great to see the public. And we weren't really chest bumping like we wanted to. We kept the event socially distant as best as we could. We had masks, we had sanitizers. The Hattiesburg Country Club was so amazing in making sure they had 1 or 2 to every buggy. So it turned out great. Right now we are working on our inaugural mud run. We call it the Monster Mash Mud Run here for Habitat for Humanity. It's a 5K, 10K obstacle course, and we're going to have the 5K, 10K. We're going to make it as muddy. I've already told the public our mud is COVID-free. Don't you worry.
I've got the flyer right here.
Yes, we had it tested ourselves, all is well. It's going to be fun, but we're going to be as socially distant, so we're going to have food trucks out there that day. We're going to have caricature artists. We're going to have awesome music. We're working on some beer trucks now. But if you want to come and test your endurance and how strong and how tough you are, come on out to Habitat. We're going to throw everything, including the kitchen sink, at you, okay? But we're hoping this event's going to be a great success.
I haven't heard of another one in Hattiesburg, so this is
I
really
know,
great.
and we're trying to brand ourselves with it, Jen, because it's an outside event. It reduces your exposure for the virus. We're going to have EMT, plenty of porta johns, food, and it's be as distant as possible. We're going to have a few vendors out there. We're going to be out on Evan and Gandy. If you all know where Coops and Cows is in Petal, we're going to be on the back side of those buildings with the lone pavilion where they just laid the new, what do you call it, like a little foundation. They just put some concrete out there. That's where all of our vendors are going to be, and our changing tents and all that good stuff. So I've been getting some support from Miss Rhonda Hayden, who is the mastermind of the Pine Belt Half Marathon. So she's been blessed in Habitat with all her contacts and her resources. I'm so excited about the event because we think it's something that the Pine Belt needs. It'll get people out of the houses, and we're just tired of being cooped up. And when you can attach a fundraising or when you can attach an event to a fundraising purpose and a cause, we find that people show up and just really want to enjoy and help us with our mission,
That's right.
pushing housing affordability for those families that we find right here in the Pine Belt area in need. And the beautiful thing about Habitat is when you donate your dollars, that money stays right here
Right.
in the Pine Belt. It does not go outside of Mississippi. We're helping families in Marion County, Jones County, Lamar, and Forest County. You get to see your donation dollars at work, and we're so proud of that. And that's just kind of how the business model of Habitat is set up. We don't have to worry about my salary. It's one of the reasons why Habitat has been so successful, because we pay our salaries off of the mortgages that our families pay us every single month. So we got 70 some odd families in a pipe. We'll be fine as long as they pay their mortgages.
Right.
So when I raise my money for my fundraisers, or I get a $20,000 or $25,000 grant like I got through Allstate and through Wells Fargo,
Yeah.
100% of that money goes into actual building material for a Pine Belt Habitat home for one of our families. So that's awesome. A lot of charities can't say that, but we can. And it's just a blessing because the people who set Habitat up had vision. They had foresight to know that this model will be self-subsisting and it can continue on into the future as long as you have men and women of character who are ushers and taking care of the people's money. So I'm excited. I know I'm long-winded, Jennifer.
I
I
love
hope I
it.
hit all the points.
Tell me one thing. Tell me if two things. If
Yes.
someone wants to volunteer with your organization, or if someone wants to look into getting a house one day, how can
Yes.
those two kinds of people get involved?
Absolutely. You guys will contact myself right here at Pine Belt Habitat at 601-582-4663. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, we are having to put a halt on accepting new home ownership applications. We're hoping this is not going to be forever, because normally we would have already had a schedule out for orientation for the month of October. So, Habitat International has us all kind of in a holding pattern. Even though we're a Habitat affiliate, Habitat International is like our mother company, but they allow each affiliate to run themselves how they see fit. So for right now, they sent down a decree that we're kind of halting any new applications right now just to see how this pandemic is going to transpire. So we're sad because there's so much need out there, Jennifer, and that's what breaks my heart the most. I get phone calls every single day, and it's like housing has gotten worse because of the pandemic. There are families that are living in their cars. I was just on the phone with one today that doesn't know where she's going to sleep tonight. So I'm trying to put her into every resource that I have, short of us, me going around my tin can and raising some money for her. But I mean, I don't know. It's heartbreaking because the need is so great. It's so vast, and in Mississippi, even though we have big hearts, we're still one of the poorest states in the union.
Mm-hmm.
It just takes a little time for change to trickle down here. So that's why Habitat has done so well in this area. So, but right now we're not accepting any application. But when time changes, they will contact us at the office. They will go through our orientation class. We will get them connected with our family services coordinator and to start the road of, becoming a homeowner. Second question to answer it, volunteers. It's kind of up in the air with volunteers. Like, for instance, I'm going to need volunteers for my fundraiser for the mud run. But administratively, we get a lot of volunteers for the Center for Community Engagement, which is an awesome USM organization where they are trying to incorporate into the students' college career the importance of service and service to others. So we love getting those volunteers here, and they're from all walks of life, all across the country, all across Mississippi. So Center for Community Engagement and Christy, Rossetti, and NECA, and Carly, the whole crew over there, they keep us stocked with volunteers, and I'm so grateful. It is. But normally we would need volunteers for house builds, volunteers to run our Habitat Hub City Restore. I know people are familiar with our Hub City Restore, but it's like a mini version of a Lowe's department store or a Lowe's or a Home Depot, but Habitat style, where we take gently used items, everything from appliances to furniture to refrigerators, building materials, and we sell them back to the public, or we don't sell them. We ask for a donation, and then we take that donation and we put it into our materials account where we can purchase lumber for the upcoming house, or we can purchase cabinetry for our Habitat house we're about to break ground on. So But yeah, we always need volunteers for the restore.
So
We
that
got
store is
one.
open now?
It is open. It's located at 912 Tuscan Avenue, right here in
Right.
Hattiesburg. I think we're like one of three in the entire state of Mississippi.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's two on the coast that is just rocking and rolling, and then there's one here in Hattiesburg. So that address is 912 Tuscan Avenue. We're open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays from 9 to 12. And I can give you my restore manager's phone number should you need it. But yeah, it has been a blast. But it's been rough, trying to hold on to volunteers because we
Yeah.
have to socially distance. And our students have just been rock stars. They're so awesome, doing what they're supposed to do and keeping them safe. It's been tough, but we're just trying to hang in there, Jan. I'm not gonna lie.
It's crazy hearing how how COVID affects
Yes.
everything.
I
So
mean,
I
it
guess
is.
you
It's
don't
like,
even have any community builds like the women's build and all those
yes,
builds.
we canceled Women's Build this year, Jan. None of that has taken place, and we have a wonderful, wonderful way of showing love to the family. As the house is being built, all you see is like where the electrical is going to go. You see the lumber. It is our way to have each group that comes to build at that house. They walk through with a magic marker and they write on the inside of the wood and the walls. And they either put their favorite Bible verse or their favorite quote, something positive. And we're
Wow.
literally filling the house with love with every group that has ever come through. So when the parents and the children walk through, they can see, oh my God, somebody from Boston College wrote "Good luck, fill this house with home." They write their favorite Bible scripture, and it just gives you goosebumps, Jen. It
That's
just gives you
amazing.
goosebumps when you have so many groups that can touch it, and our family is just missing out on that experience, and
Yeah.
it's rough. And then the best part is after the house is finished, Habitat does our yearly home dedication. I mean, we make it a huge soiree. We have media out there, we have music, we have food. Their church family comes out to support their family. Their families come out. The Habitat board comes out. We bless the house. They get a beautiful Bible, a beautiful American flag, and then we give them the keys to their home and we send them on their way. And they
Wow.
start a new path and a new life. But COVID has just done a number, Jennifer. It's just, we're missing out on all.
Wow. Oh, you got frozen for a second there. There you are.
She went away.
Oh, there you are. I can hear you. There you go.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
Got
So,
frozen.
yeah, so Habitat's ability to work with families that want to work with us is really profound. And Habitat families, the way they get chosen is three things. They have to show the ability to pay the loan back. They have a willingness to partner, and that family shows a need. Those
Mm-hmm.
are the three parameters to get in with Habitat. You have to show that you need housing assistance. You have to have the ability to pay the mortgage back, and you have to have a willingness to partner. Those are the three foundational principles that they can get in and change their life and make it better. So that's what we're all about, Jennifer. I hope I didn't leave anything out, and I hope I
Man,
wasn't
this
too
is great.
long-winded. But I'm passionate. I love Habitat because I know I've seen it change lives. And I
Yeah.
don't know if anybody knows a guy by the name of
Say it again. You froze up again.
Texas. He grew up in a Habitat home. He grew up in a Habitat home. The kid went to Clemson, won a few national championships on the college level. Now he's in NFL, just killing the game, just making history. And
Yeah.
that's just an example of what Habitat and having housing security can do for a family. And he was also the first generation in his family to go to college.
Yeah.
So he made history. He's breaking the shackles of poverty right before your very eyes.
That's amazing. Oh man,
Yes,
it gives you chills thinking about it.
it does. I got goosebumps now, Jennifer.
Mm.
Yes, indeed. So, but yeah, I'm just thankful for the love that we get from Hattiesburg. Even with a pandemic, I think in 2 days we raised like $2,100 for the mud run. That's unheard of. These are just local
Wow.
businesses that are still trying to do their part because they know nonprofits are hurting all across this country. And we're
Yeah.
just trying to make the best of a really, really tough situation, Jennifer.
And it sounds like you're doing it the best job you possibly can.
Oh yeah. As best as I can, but it's great to have good leadership, Jennifer. I have
Mhm.
to edify my board. Our board members are the bomb. They come from a cross section of a community. They're in all different diverse industries and races and religions and backgrounds. And when you have the intersectionality of nonprofit and for-profit businesses that can come
Mhm.
together and make somebody's dream come to fruition, I'm speechless.
That's
So we
great.
have great board, great committees. We have subcommittees. If anybody out there wants to get involved, your girl, call me. I will throw you on the board and put you to work.
A
But yeah,
good board is gold.
it
That's
is golden, Jennifer. We can't do anything without their support and without their leadership. So I'm proud to let everybody know that we just ratified our newest strategic plan, which is going to set the tone for us for the next 5 years. Because if you don't know where you're coming from, you really don't know where you're going.
right.
So we set goals, strategic goals that we're trying to meet for the next 5 years to take Habitat for Humanity to the next level, so we can continue that great track record of service to the people and service to the Pine Belt and service to families that really want to earn it and that really deserve a home. So yeah,
That's great. Oh,
yes,
this is
ma'am.
so good. I could talk all day. I know you
Me
got to get back to work.
too.
You've got people waiting to work, but I
I
appreciate you
know.
taking this time.
Yes, thank you, Jennifer, and to all of my wonderful fellow exhibitors. You guys hanging out with Emerge Events. Anything you do, I'm there, Jennifer.
I
Like I'm the
love it.
first one there. One time I got there 2 hours early. I
Hey,
remember that.
it works.
But I'm gonna miss the expo and walking through and feeling the energy of the Pine Belt and this diverse group of women coming together just to
Yeah.
meet one another. And wow, the fact that God put that thought in your mind, Jennifer, you are just a woman of vision. I just thank you for your
Oh,
service.
you're so sweet.
I do. I mean that because Scripture says where there is no vision, the lack of vision, the people perish. So you have to have people know people who are just blessed with that divine inspiration that can get things done and increase the quality of life, and that's what you're all about. So, Habitat got love for you, Jennifer.
You are so sweet. Wow.
We love you, sweetie. We do. We do. So just keep up the good work, and thank you for remembering us little nonprofits and allowing us to get our mission and
Always.
touch some lives out there. It means a lot.
Always. Thank you. I'm going to take us off, and I
Yes.
appreciate it. You are wonderful.
Bye.
Thank
Thank you, Jen.